Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here, back with another guide for Crash 4. This time I'm going to take you through the N.Verted version of Rush Hour. Very quickly, I want to start talking about the hidden gem. It is in a really weird place, very similar to the N.Verted version of Food Run, where you have to drop through a platform and then quickly bounce back up. So it is underneath this final collapsing platform here. Once it starts to drop, you want to start pushing back up, and the hidden gem is underneath it. So sort of once you hear that crunch of the gem, hold X to vacuum yourself back up to the surface, and just hold right and pray to God you make it back onto the platform. It's a really mean placed hidden gem. I found it by accident by dying there. So, yeah. I don't know how anybody's supposed to find that normally. Maybe you could see it very early on, but I looked and I couldn't. Alright, so the rest of the level is very similar. Luckily, there are no masks in this level. There's no time masks, so you won't have to worry about physics changing and having to readjust all the time. So it's basically the same exact level, with the exception of things get very hard to see in the Tawna section. So other than that, you follow all the same rules. The platforming is almost entirely the same with Dingo Dial. Things just take a little bit longer. That final Dingo section with the 4 boxes, with the Nitro robots chasing you, that can get a little bit hairier because things are moving slower and you're moving slower. Once you're over here, don't forget about the hidden crate. It is now off to the right instead of to the left, so blow up this big stack here, and then fall down here, grab this box. It's easy to forget this one. And then clear out the rest, and start making your way over, follow the Bump of Fruit trail. Okay, and then we're going to try to get this one up again over here. Don't forget the Aku mask, and then just patiently wait for this robot to come over here. And then once he sort of crosses over the gold tile and turns around, you want to flip him over and then spin him towards the crate. Unfortunately, we didn't get it that time. That stinks. It's okay, though. We don't really need 1-ups at this point. Alright, carefully make your way over here. Spin this guy away and then use one of the TNT boxes to break this Bump of Fruit box there. Great. And then you can use the second one to blow up this robot. Alright, make your way over here. Don't forget about these boxes to the right. And there's a robot carrying another box. Be sure to get him as well. Okay, and then sweep around these Nitro crates and break this big stack here. And then ride the elevator down to the first checkpoint. So you should have 150 boxes once you hit the checkpoint. Maybe 151 if you were able to get that 1-up successfully. Alright, there is a TNT robot here, so just suck it up and then you can chuck it at the robot. Alright, wait for a bus to come by, and then you can suck up these 4 boxes on the left. And then there's a robot with a box in the distance here, don't forget about him. But you want to make sure you have plenty of platform space available, so if you need, just wait for another set of buses to come across. Once you break that dude, come back over to this path here, follow it, and then we have to go to the right for the hidden platform. You can see it there with the boxes in the distance. Okay, jump over here. Make sure you're lined up. I almost wasn't, and I almost died. Okay, spin this dude away, and then start making your way over to the stack of boxes. Same rule applies as before. You want to make sure you go a bit to the left, and then you will hit the ceiling, but as long as you're holding forward, you will land safely on the floor. Go ahead and break this stack. You should have 185, maybe 186. If you got that 1-up before. Okay, once you're back over here, you want to pick up this TNT box and then aggro the Nitro robot. Throw it at him to give you some peace of mind. Come over here, and if you're unable to do that successfully, there's another TNT box here that you can try it with. Otherwise, you just got to run away from it for a while. Alright, use it to blow up that robot. Don't forget about these 3 boxes floating here, or 4 boxes rather, sorry. And then make your way over. You can do the same thing we did before, where you can just bounce on this TNT instead of having to, struggle to quickly and frantically suck it up before the platform falls. And then once you're over here, don't forget to suck up the TNT that is now in the foreground, right here. Great. Let it loose, and then ride the elevator back down. Okay, we're gonna hit the next checkpoint. Should have 225, maybe 226 if we got the 1-up. Break these boxes and then start heading to the final section with Dingo. hover over here, and then we're going to aggro the nitro robots, which are always fun. We're going to suck up the one up here, and then quickly make your way over. And we're going to break these two TNTs and deal with this robot here. These guys look like dogs when they flip over. It's kind of cute. Just wanted to say that. Yeah, the way their sort of paws sort of wiggle in the air. Reminds me of my dog when he's sleeping. Okay, so once you trigger those TNT, you want to hover over this set and then make sure to grab the Aku mask. That'll be very helpful. Okay, and then we're going to attempt to do the same thing we did in the regular version of the level where we sort of deliberately kill the AI of these robots. So you want to suck up this one up and then start making your way over to this platform with all the boxes and the two TNT. Great. Bounce on them, crush them, and then trigger the TNT. And now what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to ride the sort of top line of these vehicles. This way we can aggro the robots in a sort of specific way. I'm not doing a great job of exemplifying it here because I'm sort of too far towards the middle. But yeah, we're trying to hover over to the front now. This way we can aggro these robots successfully, get them to follow you in a nice line. Okay, and then once you touch this platform, the AI will die, and then you can just sort of go back peacefully, which we're going to do. I don't really understand what caused them to explode there. I think they came in contact with one of the nitro, which I guess is helpful. It throws my number way off, so from here on I'm going to have a very hard time telling you what amount of boxes you should have. But as you can see here, the rest of the robots have effectively given up, and their AI has died. And so we can just go back safely and get those 4 boxes that were once a harrowing nightmare to get. The same rule applies in the regular level as well, if you didn't watch my guide for that, but you can do the same exact thing. Okay, there's no need to go over to that platform because we already have the hidden gem. There's no boxes over there. So like I said, my box count is way off. I have 275 right now. That's because a bunch of nitro blew up. Okay, so once with Tawna, we're going to break these boxes and then jump and zip line over. Tawna's section is difficult because her R2 prompts are blue and you are under blue water. So you can imagine how hard that is to see sometimes. But I will be sure to tell you where they all are. Be sure to break that question mark box if you want the fruit. Otherwise, you can leave it for the end. The nitro switch will get it. Wait for this robot to come back around, and then you want to tap him, kick him away, and then you can use your grappling hook to break these flame boxes, as well as the top box, and then use this bounce box to get the hidden one up over here. Trigger the TNT, blow these up, and then hit these, and then just make sure that these blew up. They always do, but it kind of freaks me out because you don't hear the double explosion and you don't hear the other timer go off. Once on the rail, you want to hit R2 to open this gate, and then there's one box to break. So we're going to jump over this cable car, and then break this box, and then immediately R2 over. Okay, kick this trash can, sweep it away, come up here, and then jump on the wall panels. 1, 2. Great. And then we gotta do some platforming. There's a timer box to our left, don't forget about that. Trigger that, and then we gotta very quickly make our way over to these boxes here. Kick them. Great. And then you want to blow up this TNT using your grappling hook, just like that. And then break the boxes. And then we have to use these wall panels and then press forward in R2 to zip over here to the checkpoint. Okay. So we're gonna hit the checkpoint and then hit the rail. Okay, now I have 306. You probably don't. There's an R2 box in the distance here, very hard to see. And then jumping to hit these boxes is very weird because you're jumping slower, but also the waviness of the water is making this hard. So we're going to jump and hit R2 to open that gate. Then we're going to jump, and there's a box in the distance that we can break right now. So hit that. We're going to jump and hit this box, and then you want to hit R2 after that box. That's the prompt that is very, very hard to see. I died there a bunch of times, which frustrated me to no end because this level is so long underwater. Okay, so with 319 until, you probably have somewhere around 311, 312, I think. Yep, just hop up here with the hot dog vendor bot or the serve bot, break this flame box, and then jump up here, use the wall panel, and hit the rail again. And then we can hit R2 to break this. This box here is kind of tricky because of the filter. It's just very wavy. It's hard to see. It's an R2 box in the distance here. Be sure to zap that with your hook. And then you're going to break this box as well. and then there is a box here, and then a very late R2 prompt to hit that switch. That illuminates or fills in a 1-up box. There's another R2 box way in the distance over there. This box is hard to judge. Just jump as soon as the camera starts to turn. We're going to switch rails just before we get hit by the bus, or the cable car, and then R2 zip over here. Bounce on these 2 hot dog vendors. Use the wall panels to come up here to the checkpoint. Don't forget about the big stack of boxes back here. This should give us, I think, 349, 348. Right. Again, you'll probably have less. Okay, so we're going to stun this recycling container, and then you want to kick it when there is no car in the top row. And that should break a box for you and give you a big bump of fruit. If not, you'll have to break it manually while you have to make your way over here. So just use that recycling container to your advantage. Alternatively, you can just stand in the checkpoint box and just sort of spam your hook in different directions, and eventually you will get the box. It is reachable via hook. Okay, so this is the final rail section of the level, thankfully. So you want to jump here. There's an R2 box in the distance. Be sure to grab that. And then we have to jump and hit 2 boxes, and then switch rails. So jump here, jump again, switch rails. Once the bump of fruit runs out, you want to switch again. And we're going to R2 here. We're going to do a very late R2 after we jump. Just like that, you will make it. Okay, and then we have to break 3 boxes. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. There is a stack of TNT that we have to R2 to our left. Right there, great. And then we can open these 3 gates very safely. No need to rush. Just make sure you jump over this cable car. Great, there's an R2 box in the distance over there. And then we have to break 2 boxes and then immediately R2 over to safety. Great. Okay, so we're going to hit this box, and then we got to do just a little bit of basic platforming. We're going to pick up an Aku mask. And there's a flame box to our left right now, so you want to make sure you're timing your jumps to where the flame box will not be lit when you reach it. Okay, so with the Aku mask in tow, just hold forward on these platforms. It looks really weird because of the filter. But you do just have to hold forward and keep jumping, and you'll get it. Okay, so once you're on this little rocket truck, it's going to take you along a trail of bump of fruit. Just ride it peacefully, get ready for the end. This is a really tough section we're about to do. It's the final one. Once you're over here, jump off, and then there's 2 platforms you got to jump on. There's 1, there's 2, and then go over to the safety of the checkpoint platform, but not before you break all these boxes. And we're going to hit the checkpoint and use our grappling hook to break the Aku mask. This will take us a few attempts. It is in the distance. Trust me, this works. We're going to get it eventually. It's going to feel so good when you do. We're in the checkpoint box. We almost got it. We're almost there. Almost. We're looking for it. You gotta make sure you're lined up. It's hard to do because the grappling hook sort of goes on a slant. We got it. We got the second Aku mask. It's way easier to do that and way safer than doing it any other way. So luckily, when you're underwater, this section is just easier. The trucks move a bit slower, and you can sort of get a bit more time to really analyze the situation before, plummeting to your death, essentially. So once you are able to make it past everything, you want to try to get into the slow lanes as much as possible. Make your way back if you feel like you're getting too far. Very careful. Okay, we're going to let this truck pass, and then we're going to start going over here. Somehow we managed to do that safely while we waited for the bus. And we're going to head to the end and hit the checkpoint, or the nitro switch, and we're done. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. This is a long level. Tauna's section is really hard. There's no problem with you feeling this is hard. This took me a couple hours to do both versions of this stage. But if you have any questions, let me know. If you're looking for more Crash 4 content, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new videos go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the blue join button below this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and on Twitch, and as always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.